Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's history video brought to you by the Clinton Public Library. This week we will be covering a very influential local factory plant that opened in 1956. Columbia House was founded in New York in 1955 as a subsidiary to Columbia Records to act as a mail-order club for music. The Brandon Company moved headquarters from New York to Terre Haute just 1 year later into the existing record pressing factory, which had previously opened in 1953. This was due to the fact that the brand had exploded in popularity, gaining over 687,000 new members just in the first year, and they needed better access to the nationwide railroad system, and as Terre Haute was known as the Crossroads of America, boy were they close. The Terre Haute plant was directly adjacent to where the rail cars loaded up for grain exports from the city. 1800 North Fruit Ridge Avenue would draw all manner of employment, and at its peak, over 1,200 employees worked within the plant. It was a great boon to the area as it would continue to draw more and more commercial audio business to Terre Haute, and by 1963, the club held over 10% of the entire music market at retail. In 1959, the club took up marketing stereo and then reel-to-reel equipment in 1960. 8-track cartridges would be offered starting in 1966 and cassettes starting in 1969. One of the main reasons for the club's popularity was that they would offer media types far outstripping their lifetime. One example was reel-to-reel, being offered a whole 14 years after mainstream media had dropped the format as a whole. Columbia House would continue to stretch its legs, and by 1975, they would crest 3 million members. In 1988, Sony bought out CBS and acquired the club in the same transaction. At the time, Columbia House had just over 6 million members. In 1991, Sony sold half of the brand to Time Warner, which contributed its own clubs to the association. That year, the brand would crest 10 million members. In 1994, Columbia House would reach its peak, holding just over 15% of the total market in CDs. Just 2 years later, the brand would hold 16 million members. A potential boon would come in the middle of 1999 as a merger was announced between Columbia House and CD Now, as the companies had managerial partnerships with Sony and Time Warner. The merger would unfortunately be abandoned in 2000, citing stiff competition from Amazon. Then the following year, CD Now was bought out by Amazon. In 2002, Sony sold 85% of Columbia House to the Blackstone Group, and in 2005, they sold it off to GMCK Group. In 2009, mail-order music was halted, and in 2015, mail-order of DVDs were halted. The company's DVD business would be sold at a bankruptcy auction that same year. Overall, the brand served the Terre Haute area for close to 5 decades. That brand was unfortunately hurt, like many companies, at the turn of the millennium by the dot-com bubble, and would continue to slide down the hill that had allowed its expedient growth. Nowadays, all that remains in the Terre Haute plant is a managed warehouse for Sony to store inventory, but it was once a booming tribute to this area's trade advantages and the nation's love of music. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.